No crazy video?
No crazy videos. Sorry.
I mean, I gotta do this like old-fashioned?
Yep. Sorry.
How the hell am I gonna get through that?
I don't know.
Stumble along.
Oh, man. I don't know how I'm gonna do that.
We'll have to get all straightened up here for the next time.
We're live?
Oh, we're
We
live.
are.
Oh, wow. Look at that. What's up, everybody? Welcome to FIGGAH BANGIN, the, 7-minute late edition. Shit happens. We're also...
Yeah.
It is what it is. We're here. Don't worry. I'm trying to do everything, like 10 different things right now to get everything ready for the show. What's up, everybody? Welcome. Thanks for joining us. I am Ace Marlowe. Welcome to FIGGAH BANGIN. Joining me tonight, we have a crew. Not the whole crew, but a crew. We have the Brinkalizer.
Hey. Happy hump day.
Hump day. That's it? That's all you got?
That's all I got.
Okay, cool. We also have the pirate, Mr. Josh Fisher.
That's right. And, we're a partial cast tonight, and I'm a partial person. But I'm glad to be here.
You're like, what, 95%?
I'd say 80.
You're like 20% of your mass. Let's relax.
Oh, no. I got a lot more mass. I'm just missing. Yeah. I'm fat.
Hey, now.
All right.
Oh, goodness.
Oh, hold on.
Goodness.
Did I mute myself? I don't think so.
No.
What did I do? There we go. I thought I muted myself. Okay. Trying to get the chat loaded. That ain't going well. This is going to be bad. Okay. Screw it.
Doing it live.
Doing it live. It happens. This Chromebook ain't the fastest thing in the world. All right. Let me bring this in. So tonight, let me move this because we got to come back to you in a second. And we got to put you there. Okay. Let's get away from that. Let's put this out of the way so I can look at the computer and do this at the same time. My phone went to sleep, of course. There we go.
What a lazy goddamn phone.
Yeah, right?
Just taking a fucking nap in the middle of a podcast. Oh,
there you go. I wasn't even ready, but there we go. That's fine.
Well,
I feel like I'm a little bit on an angle. All right, so spoilers. Surprising nobody. Let me get this out of the way. Tonight we are doing Fans Toys. Spoiler, aka Breakdown.
Yeah. I
Is
gotta
my,
say that's a beautiful alt mode.
Is my video any less fuzzy, or is it about the same?
It's a little
fine.
fuzzy.
Well, it should pick up in a second, but
I can really see the wood grain in your desk.
ooh,
that's really well.
Yeah, the wood grain's picking up really well, but
nice.
the actual the spoiler is on the fuzzy side.
Maybe when I bring it in, it'll look better. I'm just worrying.
Maybe
I'm just thinking maybe it's the lighting.
The pearlescent white.
Ooh, oh! As I knock into everything. Everything's really slow.
Maybe if you put something underneath it that wasn't as reflective.
So here he is. So before we talk about him, we do have a house cleaning issue to take care of. Something I forgot to talk about with this guy.
Uh-oh.
That guy.
This guy. So forgot to show the Matrix Chamber. This is Transform Element. I don't know. It's some guy.
I hear good things.
Transform Element.
Crap, I forgot my spudger.
Stop the show. God, we suck. We're missing people. We don't have tools.
Oh, yeah, by the way, JD.
We've got tools.
I got to get a spudger. 1 second. I'm going to need it for a spoiler anyway. By the way, JD had something to take care of tonight, so he had to drop out last second. He didn't leave the show. Don't worry. Give me 2 seconds.
No. That's a loud spudger he's getting.
Quality programming here. I'm just
All
glad
right.
it was spoiler. I was like, I wonder if we're all gonna be wrong about it. Who knows?
I mean, the whole no spoilers comments kind of, pretty much gave it away.
See, this is what happens when you relocate studios. Okay. Now we can open that. So he does have a matrix chamber.
That's a really secure connection now.
Oh yeah, unlike EP10, where mine won't even stay together.
Wow.
He does have a matrix chamber. It is a little bit tiny, and it's not as detailed as it could be. But if we lift this up, there's his matrix.
Shiny.
Okay.
And the cool thing they did is they actually put this whole chamber. Like it's hard. Like obviously it's kind of hard to get in there because you can see how flush that is.
Yeah.
It's really hard to kind of get in there. So what they did was you see these black tabs right here. If it'll focus. Come on.
There we go.
The black tabs that hold it in are actually a slider. So you slide the whole thing forward, and it just pops right out.
Ah. Well, that's a nice little mechanism.
Oh, I missed that. Do that again.
Sure. So now it's in there, right? Ain't coming out.
Right.
Nothing. So if you grab these black tabs that hold the handles on, if you slide those forward, just like that. Oh, now it doesn't want. Now it's caught on it. But now it'll pop right out. You don't got to go dig it in there.
It just basically clips it into place and holds tension
Yep.
on it when it's recessed.
Okay. It's kind of hard to show because it's black on black. But there's
you can see it there.
This round bit whole thing is on a slider, and that whole thing just moves forward. It's just floating in there. So when it's locked in, it holds tension and keeps it in there perfectly secure. And then when you slide it out, it loosens it up and you can pop it right out, which is a much neater mechanism than on any other prime. But there's the open side.
Absolutely.
Open side.
Got a piece of rosemary or something from dinner. Something in my tooth.
Yeah.
So there's the open side.
Rosemary is very woody.
There's the closed side.
Wait, open and closed?
Yeah.
Yeah, the jewel's bigger on the back side.
When you open it up, the jewel gets bigger. So it's a way of... EP10 did the same thing.
What?
If it'll focus. Come on. There you go. That's the open side. It's bigger. And that's the closed side. And this whole gem is actually one piece. You can actually push it out if you wanted to, but I'm not going to do that. I don't want to ruin it.
That's cool. Is it made of metal or plastic?
This is metal, but the gem... Yeah, that's metal, but the gem is plastic.
Cool.
So, I'm surprised I didn't get roasted by anybody, but I do wish the chamber was bigger and more elaborate, like in the movie.
Yeah, like that hinge piece covered all the way across or something.
Like you can see, there's some molded in detail inside there, on the edges here, and on these great bits.
Mm-hmm.
Where they were kind of going for that look, but it doesn't, because of the way it transforms. It's kind of got to have that little one. All right. Now we can get on. Now with that out of the way, we can get on to the main event. So here is Spoiler in his vehicle mode.
Wow, so small. Can't believe it.
Yeah, we'll talk about modes and sizes and whatnot, but here he is in his vehicle mode. His gun can store on the top, which the first time plugging that in, I didn't think it fit. I was like, this don't fit. And you really got to kind of line it up and give it a good shove the first time. Everything out of the box on this guy is a little bit over tight in terms of tolerances. We'll get there, but I had a couple pieces in the back here that were paint stuck. These pieces, but we'll talk about that when we transform it. So you kind of got to run it through a transformation once or twice to loosen everything up. And we're going to talk about another joint on here that's really a pain in the ass the first time. That's super scary. But yeah, so if you just line this up straight and give it a good little push, it'll plug in and then it plugs in fine after that. It's just that first time, kind of a pain in the butt. So there's his gun, single cast, single piece. It's basically just got it's got like a metallic coat of paint on it, but no extra details. It's just one color, blue.
Yeah, I don't know why.
The same type of metallic fleck paint that's on his car mode.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, nice.
I don't know why they don't.
Yeah.
Pick out some of the detail in there.
It would be why? Because in the cartoons they didn't have any details, just a blue block.
But,
Yeah.
Come on.
I know. I'm with you, but
Oh
like,
yeah,
just, like put
nice
a little silver,
detail.
silver here. Some in the vents. Put color these in darker or something, just to have it pop a little bit more. But the gun is what it is, and there's not a lot to talk about. It doesn't fold up or anything. It's just there's the gun. He has one other accessory in the box, which I left in the box, and it's an alternative face. So I have the proper emotional, showing emotion face. It comes with a stoic face. It's just a flat, flat mouth with no expression. I don't like those faces because I feel they're too boring.
Yeah, and he was a paranoid guy anyway, wasn't he? Wasn't he the paranoid member?
Mental breakdowns.
I don't remember. I don't think so.
I can't remember. I know one of them was. I thought
Red Alert was for sure, but
oh yeah, that dude was. But enough about him.
Yeah. So all right. So here he is in vehicle mode. First impressions are he is ridiculously heavy. Like they threw a ton of diecast at this thing. I'm a little worried about that in combine mode, but it's obviously it's a wait and see because they've never done a combiner and we don't have any of the combiner pieces, so there's no way to tell what's going to happen. So we'll see what happens, but I don't like how heavy he is because of the combining bit. And
he is a leg. I mean, it's not so bad.
Yeah, but those knee joints got to be strong. We'll see when you get it. We don't know.
Having them do fucking the raquettes or anything like that.
Well, what if you want to? Zeta can.
Zeta can.
So here is. It feels like a diecast model car.
Oh wow!
Like that's like it's. I got to get a scale. That's probably the next thing I got to invest in. But it is super duper heavy. Does have rubber tires. I play with them. They do come off. Actually, you can see right there. They do come off. So they are rubber tires. Mm-hmm. Rolls like a champ.
I know, right? Dude.
Like a boss. Like this is one of the best rolling cars I have.
It's because of the weight,
Yeah, probably because it can actually grip.
Yeah, it's nice.
But it like I wouldn't fault somebody for leaving this in car mode and just driving it around your house all day.
I know.
Like it's actually a fun toy to just vroom vroom.
Yeah, dude.
I like vroom vrooming.
Like this is keeping me entertained right now. I can do this all day. Now I know why cats like it so much.
Yeah.
Well, cats are just assholes, but that's a different story altogether.
So let's talk about him by himself, and then we'll do comparisons, and we'll kind of talk about him in vehicle mode real quick. So he has a couple of gimmicks in this mode, besides being a car. He also has clear yellow taillights, along with the red. Like the turn signals are clear, and then the red is painted on. Yeah. He's got some molded in tailpipes, which are white for some reason. I never saw white tailpipes, but okay. Those probably should have been picked out in silver, but it is what it is. Especially since you already have silver down here, I could have just put a little drop right there, but they didn't.
Yeah.
Oops.
But it's fine. He's kind of got the bumper that all these Lamborghini molds in some way or shape or fashion have. Like there should be nothing right there, but obviously these are small cars. They should, the mess got to be somewhere. But it's fine. It's clean. It looks good. Underneath, you can kind of see what's going on. So then for gimmicks, he has a couple of gimmicks in this mode. He can do once you crack it, he can do the opening doors gimmick.
They're jammed in there good.
Yeah.
I found if you put it on the back. All right, never mind.
The problem is so there's these clips that you'll see in transformation, which we're wildly out of focus now. There we go. These clips, these are going to become kind of like the kidneys. They kind of jam up against the doors a little bit. Also on mine, I don't know if I'm doing something wrong or what, but so you can see this is part of the windshield right here. Mm-hmm. This piece likes to really come on tab super easy. Like this is attached to all of this. So like once you get it all like in combine, in alt mode, you kind of line everything up, and you just got to doing those squeeze it together the last minute to get everything locked. This likes to pop up. It seems to be okay now, so maybe because it's been sitting there for a day,
Maybe, yeah.
maybe everything found where it should go. But seems all right now. It does have one windshield wiper that does not seem to move. I'm not going to push it. You can also, let me see if I can get it.
I'll say, how'd you figure this out?
Let's see. I don't know if I can get under here. Is there an official way to do it without like starting to transform it?
I have no idea. I think you got to pull it apart, to be honest.
Yeah, I'm looking underneath. I don't see any way to get up in there. Maybe I'll just show it during transformation. These are these headlights will pop up. There's one on either side. I think it's one of those things where you got to kind of start transforming it to get it out. Maybe I'll do it right before we transform it. But then also, I don't know how I feel about this one. Again, this doesn't want to come up either. There we go. So you can pop that open and have the hood open, but it's not the whole hood. It's just that little bit of a hood.
The trunk.
Technically, technically that's the trunk because the engine's down here.
It's more of a glove box.
But I mean, you really ain't holding anything in there. But I mean, it's it's cool that they did it. It's fine.
Yeah.
It's these kind of get a little bit unsightly in robot mode. Like it's not horrible, but it's like you can tell that this was kind of like, what are we gonna do with these and just throw them somewhere?
Yeah, exactly.
But we'll get there. So yeah, you can have that going, and then oh shit, I should have tried to see if I can get under there from here. There we go. You can see these split in half too. Yeah, no, there's no way. We'll show it when we transform it, I guess. It's nothing crazy. These come on tab super easy because it's just this itty bitty little tiny little tab. So yeah, so you can have the doors open, revealing nothing because nobody can sit in there. So
Yeah,
that's his foot.
He's
kinda jammed up.
compact. He is compact for sure.
So we'll just kind of close this all up for now. Yeah, I think that's other than the headlights. That's the only other gimmicks.
Yeah, I just wanted to, if you look at the bottom of him and about how clean he is, that's going to become really important in combined mode later.
Well, you're not even going to see this thing in combined mode technically.
Well, depending on how you do it.
Yeah.
Because that would be facing frontward, I think.
No, this is going to be on the back.
That's going to be on the back.
Yeah, I think.
Okay.
Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. Because we've only seen renders. So I guess we'll see when.
Yeah.
I was just thinking of the cartoon aesthetic. I thought the underneath of the car was the front of his shins.
That's the toy.
That's the toy. The cartoon.
The cartoon aesthetic, he was like that. Or actually, technically, like that.
Like that on the back of the leg, wasn't he?
Oh, on the back of the leg.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. So it was
Pretty
on the front
sure.
of the leg.
No, he's like that on the front. Somebody Google it.
I'm Googling it.
All right. I'm pretty sure it's like that in the cartoon. I know it's like that on the toy.
Okay.
Actually, well, the front of the so he's upside down. So the toy, the hood, this is where the head is on the toy.
No, the cartoon, the cars were on the back of the leg.
Oh,
on
there
the
you go.
back. Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I was thinking about the toy then, I guess.
Yeah.
So go ahead.
No, go ahead. You're fine.
So there's also no attachment points that I can see for combined mode. Like there's no extra clips, there's no extra pegs, there's no extra. I don't see any place where this is going to clip in. So I'm assuming it's going to be some kind of encompassing mechanism.
Right.
Like it's just going to like hold it like that or something like that.
Yeah.
Or there's going to be like a shell that you just slot them into, something like that. Because I don't see any place like on Motor Master and on, or specifically on Maverick. We found a couple extra pegs and stuff where stuff can peg in later on. Yep. This guy, I don't see nothing.
Yeah, so I think something's just gonna grasp.
I think it's just gonna be some kind of friction thing, or
the top and the bottom. Yeah.
Oh yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
Or like that, something like that.
Yep.
We won't
something
know for a while,
that maybe grabs around the back bumper and holds it in place or something.
Some kind of friction where it's just gripping it. But we'll see. I don't. Yeah, there's no I didn't find any hidden joints, hidden pegs, or anything like that. But so size comparison wise, here he is with another MP car of the same type, of the same variety. So you can see. So I'm gonna get them as close to bumper. That's basically bumper to bumper. So he's about
maybe 1/8 of an inch longer.
If that, it's like the width of my spudger.
Yeah.
Basically.
He's a little bit wider, but not terribly so.
He's definitely, so here's the thing. He's definitely bigger than Sideswipe. It's hard to explain. So he's a little bit wider, and he's definitely taller. Not by much, but he's definitely got more mass.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like they proportion him out just enough to kind of get it. Oh, I fucking wanted to grab a sneaker. Damn it! I'll have to grab it later. No big deal. This is what happens when you're rush. So we're saying, how can he go for MP car size? He is. I would give it to them that he's MP car sized.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But he's definitely not MP car mass. Like, there's probably 3 times as much mass in this, which is how they're kind of pulling off what they're doing, and also some stuff in the legs, which we'll go into. And then, because I got him, you can just see a red sandwich. Oh, there's one more thing I got to show off with Prime, but we could do it in robot mode when we go to him. It's fine. All right. So, any other questions before we move on?
Nope.
No, I don't have any.
No questions. I don't think. No.
Okay.
No.
I think we did everything except for the headlights, which I'll show off later.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
you mounted the gun on the top, right?
Yeah, mounted the gun on the top. Goes in that hole right there. Started off like that. Goes like that. Right. So, okay. So we'll move on. Let's move on. So we're gonna transform this guy. So we've been saying kind of from the start. That was a puzzle. That wasn't really a transform. that was a bit of a stretch. Well, he's not turning from an Autobot to a Decepticon. There you go. So we've been saying kind of all along, like he's going to be hollow, or they have to do something to make him, because he's going to be spoiler, he's going to get bigger. So the way they're kind of doing it is in the legs mostly, because this doesn't get any bigger. Like this stays how it is, but obviously the legs are going to get longer. So he's really not getting that much taller than that. Is how they did it.
Okay.
If that makes any sense to anybody. So the transformation of this guy is very fan story-y. It's very much, how can we get this from here to there, with the aesthetic that we want, and have as whatever straightforward steps as we can, regardless of it being intuitive or not. A lot of it is.
Come on, are you gonna?
A lot of this stuff.
Are you gonna call this the B or C or D team again?
No, this is definitely. I mean, this is probably the B team.
Okay.
It's not the C or the D team. Listen, I'll shit on them when they suck. You're gonna be a little bit surprised on this one, everybody. Believe me.
Oh.
But like this stuff, I was able to pretty much do without instructions. But then this stuff, you're not doing without instructions.
I did it without instructions.
Did you?
Yes.
You get a cookie.
What kind of cookie would you like?
But one of the waist swivels, I'm sure you'll get to it, was super tight. I actually
oh my god.
I actually had to stop and watch a video because I was like, I think this moves. How does this not move?
Yeah, there's a couple. Like I said, everything out of the box on this guy is way too tight. Like they didn't tolerance anything properly, except for the legs, which we'll get to. Believe me, we'll get to.
Mm-hmm.
But everything else they did not tolerate properly. So you kind of got to, once you run through everything once or twice, it's fine. Like all the times, everything loosens up, everything moves fine. It's just the first time everything on this thing is super sketch. Super sketch. So I always forget to do that. So we're going to open that first. That just kind of locks the car mode together. And it's going to kind of unlock things back here. And then we got to lift the hood up. So kind of got to get the doors open again. and then we got to pop the hood. There we go. Also getting this, so to get this in, you got to open this up. And the problem is because the shape of the hood goes out like that, it flares out. It's gonna kind of go. It's got to go like in and around these doors, and because it flares out, it's like a pain in the butt just to get everything lined up.
I found that moving the windshield underneath the door windows was easier than trying to fit it over the door windows.
I just kind of crack it like an egg, and you kind of gotta pop this open too. That's the other thing. Everything tabs in this mode like too tight, especially up over here. Like this tabs into this, and this all goes into here, and it's super tight. But let's see. Okay. Now everything should be free. There we go. So you can see, so there's a series of hinges up here, which kind of make it a little bit easier. You just kind of got to go up and around. So that kind of gets everything up and out of the way. We should probably do the legs first. So we come under here.
Hey, hold on one moment. I want to show you something. Just give me a second here. I uploaded it in the wrong spot because I'm a newbie.
We'll wait.
Here. 1 second. All right. So I'm going to bring an image on the screen. And I want you to look at his legs, specifically Breakdown's leg. And obviously it's gray, right? But if you look at the design of that, does that not look like the bottom of the car?
The bottom of that does look like that cartoon outline. Hold it.
Hold on. Let me hold on. I gotta try to frame this. There you go.
Oh,
yep.
Could be reaching, but it looks close, right?
No, it's close, man.
Close.
All right.
But I'm sure that on the part it's gonna be molded like that.
Yeah, of course, and they would want it to be gray, I guess, as well.
Yeah. So if we split this. Lift the hood up. So that's the other thing. Is everything, like I said, everything taps together like too well. There we go. So you want to kind of flay that open, and then if you come under here, you can see right here we can push that piece up, and there's your headlights.
The little translucent doodads too.
It's white on white, so there you go.
That's cool.
That's very nice.
So you can. It's kind of a pain in the butt because you kind of have to you can see how it's like encompassed in that whole section there. So it's kind of a pain in the butt to get. You kind of have to figure out before you transform it. Do you want them up or down?
Maybe when it's in car mode, you just beat it upside down on the palm of your hand.
Maybe you should try that.
Yeah.
You should try that. Let me know how it goes.
Well, I'm not transforming this thing till I get 3 more bots, so I'm good.
Okay.
I'm wondering. I bet that would really pop though if they'd painted those headlights silver behind the translucent.
That's always better in my opinion, but it's fine.
Yeah.
So there's the legs spatchcocked. So now we're gonna. So this is where their kind of mesh shifting is coming from. So you can see the legs are just gonna rotate around at a extra joint, or maybe they won't because this has to get out of the way, like that. So that's where their mass is coming from. That's why I said these little bits are just going to hang out because they are just going to kind of hang out.
Yeah.
So you rotate it around. You don't rotate it around the knee joint. There's a separate joint right here where that screw is. Actually, not where that screw is. Down here, because this is the front of the car. So you're rotating it around right there. Not at the knee, a little further up.
Oh, okay.
So this is where the kind of the fudginess comes in. It's not horrible, but so you got to pull this piece out and around from this piece, which is a kind of dumb, but like that. So this piece has got to come out. This is going to be like the wheel filler to fill in the space for the wheel because the wheel well, we're going to push the wheel on the other side.
Yeah, like that part right there. I did that last when I was transforming it for the first time. I was like, fuck, I got to undo it and do it all again because the pieces are hanging out there.
The other thing you got to worry about is this stupid little flap.
Yeah.
That's another one you can always forget. We got to fold this one in. We got to fold the foot down and around and kind of leave it out for a minute. The wheel is now in the proper place. And then we're going to this piece. This is a piece that's kind of like the hardest thing to figure out if you're doing it by yourself. You got to just do that. So there's two hinges, so like it can go backwards, like it can go that way. So it's like it's just a free floating hinge. You can go that way. So in robot mode, you want it like that, and then in vehicle mode, you want it like that.
Right.
So
you want to
just reverse it.
Yep.
Okay.
So you're just basically moving it from this side to that side. Because it's just there's nothing to stop it. It kind of goes any which way. So if you're just kind of trying to do it intuitively, you're gonna run it. That's where I ran into issues trying to figure out the transformation. So then I'm just gonna rotate this around. This white peg, Jesus Christ, this white peg. So this white peg right here, it's like a half peg. It's not even a whole peg.
What? Down a little.
I've got one of those.
No peg. It's like a half peg. Goes into there, into that screw hole. Holy crap! It does not like to let go. Like you peg that thing in there. I still got some white paint rub on the tire. You peg this thing in there, and that sucker. Once you lock that in there, that sucker's on there. Like you can yank on this till the cows come home. Like it's a pain in the butt to get it unpegged.
Have you ever yanked on it till the cows come home?
I did once.
Yeah.
So then we also have to. That square peg goes into that square hole, and I think there's a little peg in there that goes into a little hole by that screw. And this is another joint. Like everything on here, even though it's just pegged in with friction, like they're on there. Like you need a tool to get this thing apart. Unfortunately, this red bit just sits there.
Yeah.
And that's what I was saying when they just I'm pretty sure that was just an afterthought. Like, what can we do with this stupid thing? So unfortunately, that just sits over the tire like that. It's on a ball joint and a double hinge, so you can rock it back and forth, and you can rotate any way around on that ball joint. I know it doesn't look like a ball joint; it looks more like a hinge, but it's a ball joint in there. So you can kind of do some stuff with it, but not a whole lot. So it kind of just ends up hanging out like that. But it's fine. We're going to come back to hold this later. But so now we got to do that again. So we're just going to move this to the side to give us the clearance. Pull this all out here. Rotate the wheel to the other side. Like that. Flip out the foot on like a double hinge there to rotate it around. Flip in this. Flip out that blue piece. Come around, rock this over, plug that in there, give that all a squeeze. Put that red piece on the back there. Oop.
Ooh.
Now without this bit holding it up, these come off super easy.
Okay,
well,
yeah.
No, mine are pegged in pretty well, if I remember correctly.
Oh, that side is. This side isn't.
You spudged it too much.
I guess I did.
Yeah, mine are in pretty solid.
Oh, mine's not.
That was one of the things I was happy about. Oh, did you? No, you must have. Never mind. There's a flap underneath. You see that flap that you tuck in?
Which one?
All right, where the door is open, where you have the door open.
Mm-hmm.
You see that flap? I think it tabs into. All right. I can't show you because I can't point to it, but behind the door now, like on the inside of the leg, that flap that you tucked in. So it's on the inside of the leg, on the inside, down.
On the inside of that door hinge.
Yeah.
Maybe it's not on this side.
It tabs into that. No, on the other. Yeah. So you're killing me.
So if you were to open the door,
open the door.
Okay.
And then see the flap that's inside the leg.
The white piece or the blue piece?
Down by the foot.
Down by the foot.
Yeah. So
this
look
piece.
inside. Yeah, that flap right there.
Okay.
It tabs into that, I believe. And
Did
that helps keeps it
Hold
secure.
on, Did I not push it all the way? I did not push it all the way. Oh, it doesn't feel a whole lot different. Oh, nah. You know what that is? It's untabbing it.
Oh. I thought that locked in the door.
So that is kind of locking in the door, but then once I open it up, it's coming out.
Oh, well, you're not supposed to open it. It's supposed
that's the problem.
Stay closed.
Okay, hold on. So let me close it. There we go. Now it's tabbed in.
All right, cool.
So now let me do that on this side too.
Because I can't even get the door open. Mine's tabbed in so tight with that thing.
All right, it's fine. Okay, so we got to unpeg the crotch. So these skirts come up. We don't want those up yet. And you kind of want to lift all the skirts on the front and the back up. And then we got to unpeg that. Like, yeah. So now we got to rotate it here at this lower waist joint. So this joint is only here for the transformation. Right. This is not a waist. This is not the waist joint. The waist joint isn't up there. This is just the transformation joint. Holy hell!
Yes.
This thing is scary the first time you rotate it.
Yep.
And it's not like just creaky. You're like, oh, I don't know. It's actively pushing against you as you rotate it the first time.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I forget. I was on a hangout transforming somebody. Maybe I was with Jose or something, and I was like, I cannot get this fucking waist to turn around, and I think I have to turn it around. And I was like, I thought I was gonna break it off.
I was doing one of these. I was like rotating it like a little bit and rotating it back. Rotate a little bit, rotate it back. I don't even have words. Like the first time, it's super sketch.
Yep.
But again, one of those. It's fine. See, no problem. The first time is horrible. Terrifying.
Did you think you were actually going to break it?
Yes, it felt like I felt like I was just gonna rotate it. It's just gonna fall in half.
Yes, it did.
Yep. That is scary.
But again, look, now you can rotate it. Look, any which way you want, it's fine. It's just that first time, it's fucking a nightmare. So you peg that back in, fold all these flaps back up. I think we can fold these up now. We'll see if we run into problems, but I think we can fold those up now.
Those are the little pieces that kind of hang up the door.
Yep. They're just kind of kidney fillers.
Ace, were yours super tight?
No, I heard other people were having problems with theirs being super tight.
I had to loosen mine.
Yeah, I've seen people have to loosen that screw on the backside about a quarter of a turn
joint?
or so.
This one?
Yeah, that
or the one
right
in the diecast piece.
No, the one
on the backside.
Yep.
Well, this one doesn't really rotate that much. It mostly you just go like that.
Well, then how'd you get it transformed? Because you need to move those things to get it flush.
They rotate around like that.
No, you got to turn. Damn, I don't know how the hell you transform that thing then. Maybe that's why your windshield kept popping up.
Maybe.
Yeah.
And why it's impinging your doors when you try to open them.
Who knows?
Oh, maybe. Yeah, it could be it too.
When I transform it back for combined mode, maybe we'll mess with it a little bit.
Okay.
But for now, it's fine. Okay, so now we kind of got to get all this open. So these are the forearms, and they're tabbed in like right here and right here. And holy hell, these are tight too. And these don't loosen up over time. So you kind of got to wiggle these out. There we go. It's also tabbed in up there and back there. There we go. It's a little bit easier getting them out, getting them in. Like you really kind of got to get them together and squeeze them. And then they'll kind of get pushed together. We're going to fold this up for now. I think that ends up going like that. I think you want it to look like that. I forget. We'll get there. I'll remember when we get there. And then we got to free this up. Which again, all right, let's straighten out the arms. And we're going to rotate them. Also, these biceps were super sketch the first time. A lot of these joints were very sketchy the first time. Like I said, now they're pretty much fine. It's just the first time they're a nightmare. So now we got to unpeg it from here and rotate it out. There we go. A lot of these joints are very, very tight. Like they really cram this thing together to get it to be the size that it is in alt mode. Okay, and we're gonna rock out the arms, the shoulders. So the first time I did it, these things. Hey now. I like that everything gets loses focus after that. Come on. Come on. Come on. You really don't want to focus, do you? Move it away. Move it towards. Oh, you're killing me, camera. Yeah. There we go.
There, yeah.
So and then it goes away. So these things. So now you can see that they're fairly loose. I forget which one it was. It was probably this one. It was actually paint stuck. So you can see it's on this little die cast hinge, and then you can see the screw right there. The first time I rotated it, a whole bunch of paint came out of there.
Oh wow!
Because I guess they globbed on the paint when they put the screw in. Like I started rotating it felt horrible. So I had to do one of these things where I rocked it. I was like, does this rotate? I was like looking at him like, because it's the other way in robot mode. It's pointing the other way. So I was like, it has to rotate because that's how the wheel well goes. I'm like looking at the instructions, like, yeah, it definitely rotates. And I'm like, But again, once you do it once, it's fine. It's just one of these. I'm pretty sure it was this side was literally paint stuck. There's just a little glob of paint came out afterwards. So we're gonna rotate these around, which doesn't feel great, but it's fine. Again, and you kind of got to clear the spoiler. Yeah, so you have to go this way because of that tab. There we go. It still doesn't feel great, but it's fine. We're gonna let's see. We gotta untab, fold out these gray bits that become the chest. The clearances on here are not the best because again, they had to go from one size to another size. So kind of do that. Flip out the head. Nothing else on this side. Keep in mind of what that looks like because we're gonna have to talk about this a bit. Just remember what that joint looks like.
Okay.
Okay.
How it's that blue piece,
that little blue piece,
the blue piece with the white clip. That's gonna end up being the ab joint.
Oh.
And I don't want to have to take it apart again to show everything. But just keep that in mind. Just remember what that looks like.
So there's a hinge on the other side.
Yeah, there's a hinge right here. You can see it actually right there.
Okay.
And that's basically connected to that. But just keep in mind how that blue piece goes into those tabs that are kind of locking it together. Just remember
is that a metal tab a metal piece with plastic tabs?
Plastic,
or are they
plastic.
all plastic?
That's all
okay,
plastic.
Good.
Just keep that in mind. So
Gotcha.
now, before we forget, we got to unpeg these. And this is all just to keep the back and the front together. So flip out these. And then we got to flip out these blue pieces, which I often forget to do. Often, because I've transformed this thing so many times. Like twice. Both times I transformed it, I forgot this. Flip out these bits. So you can see that there's tabs on the blue bits and on these white bits, and they're just going to kind of lock into this bit and keep everything together.
Okay.
So now we just got to hide this. So, it goes this way. Yeah, it goes that way. So you want... Come here. So you want to fold this such that this white bit is flush like that. So this white tab gets flush with that. And then we're going to fold this 90 degrees. So you want it to look like that. And just make sure all these angles are straight. So that's nice and compact. And we're going to rotate this back down. And at the same time, kind of fold up the chest. And then since everything is kind of on free floating hinges, you kind of got to line everything up. Like, make sure that's pegged in on that side. Make sure everything tabs together. It does lock in very securely at the top. If you forget one of these, like I usually forget this one. Like the last time I did, I was like, "Why is he so loose?" Like, see, as you can see, well, obviously, if I keep pulling on it, it'll pop apart. But if you just kind of like give it a little tug, it's fine. And the first time I transformed, I was like, "Why is it coming apart so loose?" And I just totally forgot to pull these blue pieces out. So you want to pull all that out. It also fills in his kidney area and his sides. Now we just got to give him his hands. So we're going to open this up. And then His hands, you actually have to splay his hands like that to get them to fit. You can't put them in a fist. So we're going to fold these kind of into fists and then rotate them out. Fold that out. Rotate his hand, which is on a very tight joint. And then do the same over here. I'm sure you guys know how to fold out hands by now.
Yeah.
You just got to remember to splay them like that to get them into car mode. Okay. And I believe there he is. Kind of give him one last kind of squeeze to get everything together. There he is in robot mode.
Not bad.
Yeah, man.
That doesn't seem to be a terrible transformation at all.
It's not terrible. It's not like someone like Maverick or Omega or some of these other ones.
Yeah.
It's not their best, but by far it's not the worst.
Yeah, it doesn't look frustrating.
It's very much everything's kind of loose fitting until it's almost in car mode, and then you give it a squeeze, and then it locks everything together. It's one of those.
Cool.
So it's definitely not horrible. What is Tyler doing? God
Oh,
damn
he
it,
just
Tyler.
said he's here only for the broken figures.
Tyler, you should be in the cafe right now. So let's run through articulation first. So the first of all, there he is with his face. The face that comes within the box is the stoic face, which I ain't got time for. So I
do like that expression.
The other one is just a straight line of indifference. And they luckily they're finally learning, which I do appreciate. You can just go under here with a tool or your fingernail and just pop the face off. You don't have to unscrew it.
Oh, nice.
Which is wonderful. Which Takara has been doing for a while, and now they've been doing it with the last few releases too. So I very much like to see that. It used to be you have to unscrew the back and then take it out, blah blah blah, and that makes you never want to do it. So just being able to pop it off is great. So the head is on a hinge swivel. So we got up to there, which is good. Not much down. In fact, so that's basically straight. That's as much down as he's got. Wow. He's a smaller bot. He's not a he's not like a big bot like Monomax or something where he needs to be able to look down. So it's not as big a deal. I would like him to have more down. He also has like this kind of rocking panel that the head is on, but it doesn't really get you any more down.
Nah.
So it's not horrible, but it could be a little bit better. Like I said, if he was a bigger bot like Motormaster, looking down is more important than up. But since he's smaller, being able to look up is a little bit more important than down. So that's okay. Rotates around just fine all the way around. Shoulders, I believe, are on ratchets all the way around. These bits, they don't really get in the way, but they do kind of just sit there. So you might just when you mess with it, you might go like that, and you might be in the way. You just got to move it out of the way. But it's just on the hinge there, so it's fine. So all the way around on a nice ratchet, lots of teeth. You can actually see all the teeth in there. So that's nice.
Yeah.
Friction out, and you can see there's a cut on the top. So friction out straight, basically straight. It's a little shy of straight, but we'll give it to him. He doesn't have a separate joint to go higher. Like, sometimes they'll have another joint right in here where it can go a little higher because it's just, that's just the back of the car.
Yeah.
But, I mean, it's fine. You can go that way. You just can't do the YMCA, which is fine. It's not the end. That's not horrible. Very tight bicep swivels, although now they're loosening up. That's just friction. Double bended elbows, mostly for transformation, but it's a byproduct of transformation, but it does work great. It does give a little bit of an ugly elbow from the side, the broken joint, the elbow. But I'd rather have the range and hide the joint than not have the range. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'd rather have it and hide it than not have it and want it. So that's good. It's also, it looks like it's ratcheted. You can see looks like there's teeth in there, but it's not.
Yeah, I wonder if
He's
that's
got some.
And also, this joint is tighter than that joint. So just keep that in mind. You kind of just got to finagle it. But it's fine. Like I said, I'd rather have the double joint and have it be an ugly double joint that's functional than a pretty joint that's, that has less range. So that's good.
Yeah.
You're going to hear some surprising things from me on this guy, so just keep that in mind. Wrists are, do you want to say something? I'm sorry.
Oh, I was just going to say, the only thing about the arms is his forearms are so thick, though, compared to his
we're
bicep.
going to get there. We're going to get there. Wrists are super tight on a swivel. Although, again, they're starting to loosen up. He's got typical Fans Toys hands, so ball-jointed thumb with no extra joints, and then the pinned fingers with the 2 joints. They're pretty much every other Fans Toys hand. I've said it a million times, and I'll say it again. I prefer swappable hands over articulated hands, but they're okay. They're fine. They're typical Fans Toys hands. If you like them, you got them. If you don't, you just got to kind of deal with them. Like I said before, I don't like how square they are. That's my biggest complaint with them. They're very much like, they don't have like kind of a natural curling to them. They're a little bit too robotic. But again, there's nothing new with the hands, so there's nothing really to harp on. You like them or you don't. So the waist. So we have a swivel here. It does get hung up by the backpack, but you get a natural waist turn, right?
Oh, yeah.
So that's all you're going to need. Now, remember I told you to remember that joint, right?
Yeah, that little
clip.
The
blue piece with the clip that's holding onto it. So like I said, that's the ab joint. So we're going to show the ab joint. So you can see right there. See, it came off. So now before we talk about the ab joint real quick, well, the connection point. So that's with so you can see the blue piece. See the blue piece in there in the clip. See, it's unlocked. Although it's a little blurry. So you can see it's unlocked.
Yeah, there you go.
You can, so if you go like that, it's basically the blue piece is now resting on the clip and not clipped in. So that's kind of a natural kind of ab crunch, like a resting crunch, you can say.
Yeah.
Like it's not an extreme pose.
Resting
Poor
crunch.
posture.
Right. So you can kind of so that kind of locks in there. But then after that, it kind of floats and it kind of holds poses in between. But realistically, you're going to want to either use that or you're going to want to use all the way. Because in between, it'll hold, but like say, just a little bit of movement, it'll droop. So functionally, you have that or that, which is good. It's fine. I would like it to be a little stiffer just to get it in between. But I mean, you can get it in between, but you can see how it just wants to droop.
Well,
yeah.
I mean, mine. I either have it all the way. I've got it just unclicked, or I do it all the way.
Yeah, that's what I'm basically saying. Like functionally, you're gonna get it resting on the clip, which is good. Like that's a nice looking ab joint, like a nice realistic,
right?
Anatomical joint. Or if you want to do them like kind of like kneeling over, you can have them in more of an extreme.
Yeah, extreme.
But this joint, holy hell. This is the worst joint on this figure in terms of tolerances. So you have, in order for it to unclip the first time, like these white pieces have to flex, right? It's a clip. It's got to flex to let it out. The first time I did it, like I had to look up pictures to make sure this thing had an ab crunch. I'm like, I saw pictures with an ab crunch. I know it's got an ab crunch. And I'm like literally like, I was literally putting so much pressure. I thought this thing was going to snap in half. Eventually, it will unclip. Once you unclip it, like, see, it's fine, right? I can do it with hardly any force. That first time is absolutely horrible. It was completely terrifying. Did yours do that?
Yeah, mine was tight, but since I saw the pictures the way it was, I was just like, I'm just gonna fucking do it.
That's exactly what I did. I was like, I see there's pictures of it. I found people that did it, and I saw that blue piece is unclipped. Like I know it comes unclipped. It has to. I see pictures of it, but like everything in my body is telling me it doesn't. But I mean, like I said, once you do it, it's fine. It's just that first time, it's not tolerance well. But once you do it, it's completely fine. It's just that first time, it's horrific.
I hate scary moments like that when I get a new figure. I'm like, oh, am I going to break it? So, yeah.
There's a lot of those in here. But like I said, once you do it, it's fine. It's just that first time is horrendous.
Yeah.
That's not supposed to come unclipped, but I guess I transformed it a couple times. It's getting a little looser. So we got hip skirts kind of all the way around. Let's see. We got up friction out, and we do not have 100 on the Van Dam. That's about 50% on the Van Dam, maybe 60%. We'll give him 60%.
Oh well.
It's about 110 degrees, maybe.
So
But yeah.
I mean, that's more or less plenty, but a little more would have been nice. But it's fine. You don't really need too much more than that anyway. Let's see. Forward and back, ratcheted. Again, I would have liked to have seen ratchets out, but the friction fit pretty tight. So we got forward all the way. We got back about 45 degrees, which is fine. The back is not as important as the front. I believe we have a built-in thigh swivel. We do. So now the knees. The knees, this is where we kind of, like everything from here down, I really, really like. Like I actually really, really, really like all of this. It's just from the knees down is where we start to lose some points. So the knees are double jointed. You can see there's a double joint right there. The bottom joint will move first. The bottom joint is a lot looser than the top joint. So the bottom joint will get you to there. And then you can continue on. Like the top joint feels good. It's nice and tight. The bottom joint, at least on mine, is it's not super loose. It's not loosey-goosey. As you can see, it's not going anywhere. Well, it did there, but that's because it's more torque. I've seen people like Chuck had to take his apart and tighten the screws on there. Mine's not that bad, where I had to take it. Like he had to like open it all up and get in there and take it apart and tighten the screws. But the double joint knee gets you all the way out to there. Now remember, that's not the transformation joint. The transformation joint is here.
Right.
Yeah.
This is the actual knee joint. So this is a different joint. So you get all the way up to there, which is great.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't make, like you can see, obviously, like a car sitting behind him, but that's fine. The joint isn't really too bad. You know, it's not that ugly.
No.
Like double jointed joints can look, like we saw with the elbow. It doesn't look great. I think the knee joint looks better than the elbow joint. I wish the knees were ratcheted, especially that lower one. They probably, I mean, I was going to say that maybe they didn't do it for transformation because of transformation, but that's not the transformation joint. I mean, it's very tight in there. There's not that many parts, so I can see why they didn't put the bottom one, but they probably should have at least done the top one a ratchet. There's really no reason. This is all die cast. So these are die cast. The thighs are die cast. So they probably could have put I don't see any reason why they couldn't put a ratchet at least in the upper one, but at least it's stiff. I just wish the bottom joint was stiff, but not the best, but by far not the worst. And then the feet. So we've got no real toe tilt up because it starts hitting all this stuff. But because of the transformation, basically you got an extreme down. And then, holy hell, they figured out the technology. It took them quite a while, but we have an ankle tilt.
What? Oh man,
they cracked it.
That's a really good ankle rocker for fans.
It's not,
toys.
It's not 100. It's not all the way like we've seen, 90 degrees plus, but that's 40. That's basically 45 degrees. That's more you can ever need.
Yeah.
Ace, you can keep tugging on that thing if you want to see it go further.
Oh, you can if you kind of break it, like move it backwards, you can get it. Oh shit, you can. Oh, I stand corrected. It is a 90 degrees.
Wow.
Okay, so hold on. So from there to there feels fine, and then you kind of get a stopping point. And if you kind of give it a little bit more force, I didn't know that. You do have 90 degrees. I take that back.
Outstanding.
So that's fantastic. The only real problem with the feet is, one, the heels are way too small. So he has a little bit of problem balancing. And it's not horrible. Believe me, for Fans Toys feet, these things are marvels of engineering. Just for the physical fact that they figured out the ankle tilt. I don't like how they're pegged. They're basically pegged into the back here. So they see how they just kind of like come unpegged real easy.
Okay.
And they're kind of jointed at the back. See, they're not jointed. A real foot would have it. I know you don't know this, Josh, but a real foot would have the ankle in the middle.
Oh, man.
Well, actually, my pole is centered in the middle of my
see, there you go.
foot. Yeah.
So, like, the ankle should
He doesn't have a pole.
The ankle should be here in the middle, but instead it's in the back. Galvatron did the same thing, and I wasn't a big fan of that either. There's a double joint here, so you can get away with it. But holy hell, He can do that. He can go further. Look at that. He can be flat-footed like that.
Yeah, dude.
That's pretty great. Yeah.
You did it, Fans Toys. You finally did it.
That little cat.
So honestly, I have to say, before we go into kind of like aesthetically and stuff, I actually really like this guy. I think this is the best thing Fans Toys has done probably in the past 3 years, at least.
Wow.
It's super articulated, which I've said a million times. I don't care what the figure looks like. I want it to be functional, and this guy is. And I'm not going to shit on something just because I don't generally like the company if it's a good figure. And this is probably the first Fans Toys figure I've had that I will genuinely say on air right now is a fun figure to mess with.
Yeah, dude.
I've said time and time again that Fans Toys do not make fun figures to mess with, and that's their biggest problem to me. Most people, a lot of people like them because they're aesthetically pleasing, which they pretty much all are, and they just want to put them on a shelf and look at them, which is fine, but that's not what I like. So this is probably the first thing they put out, and I don't know how, probably since the Dinos, that I genuinely think is a fun figure to mess with, and I will 1,000% applaud them for that.
Awesome. Yeah, I mean, it looks, like I said, the transformation didn't look frustrating at all. And his articulation, I mean, there's really nothing that you're wanting out of it. It has all
Absolutely
the articulation you absolutely need.
Like I said, the only thing I would have wanted is it's a little bit strong. I would have liked ratcheted knees, and I wish he had a longer heel, like a flip-out heel, something, a little bit of a, you can see how tiny that heel is?
Yeah.
Like, it just goes to, it's this piece right here, and it's narrow. So sometimes when you get him in a more extreme pose, so like he kind of like he can't really balance too great.
Because he's got a lot of weight up in his chest.
He's got a lot of die cast. So it's like once you get it kind of balanced, it's fine. But sometimes in the more extreme poses, because of the lack of heels, he's got trouble standing. But that's functionally the only real problem with it. Now, aesthetically, we do have to talk about it. So we kind of stand him up straight. He is a skinny mini. So that's kind of how they got around the mass problem.
Yeah. I tell you what, though, man, even looking at it on my screen now and looking at pictures, the
pictures definitely look worse.
The camera just makes it look so slim because you can't experience how big the figure actually is because you're not holding it. You know what I mean? But like in hand, it doesn't feel.
It doesn't.
I mean, it doesn't.
It does not photograph well.
Yeah,
for sure. People are saying, "Oh well, if you have a backpack, people complain. If you don't have a backpack, people complain." The backpack's
got
fine.
A backpack.
I don't give it. First of all, I think the backpack looks fine. It's nice and compact. It makes sense for who he is. It's got a little bit of car. It's got the spoiler, so it's got car aesthetic. So you can tell he's a car. I think the backpack's fine. The backpack's not the problem. The problem is his.
He's got no butt.
The worst problem, to me, the worst problem is the arms. Like how skinny his biceps are compared to his forearms.
Yeah.
Like aesthetically, I think that's the biggest offender here. Like you can just see how twiggy that forearm. Like it looks like Popeye.
Yeah.
If it'll focus.
And yeah, the actual thinness of the torso doesn't bother me at all. I mean, most of the Stunticons are naturally thin like that anyway in the torso, so it's not a bad look for him. It's proportioned well. It's just those forearms.
It's the especially when you bend the elbows and you can really see like because this is all for the car mode because this is the underneath the car, so you can kind of so they had to kind of mold it to be that shape.
Yep.
So that's to me aesthetically that's the biggest offender.
And you get him in the right pose, you're not even going to notice.
Yeah, you can hide it. Yeah. Like it's not a deal breaker, but he has no. So it's kind of jarring. It's also kind of jarring to go from this to nothing. So I think that also like if they had a bit here that kind of smoothed it out a little bit, so it wasn't just straight line. Yeah, the straight lines kind of accentuate the fact that he has no rear down here. So if they kind of would have put maybe a couple more joints or kind of molded this to kind of go a little bit more gradually down, you wouldn't have because when you look at it like that, your eye immediately sees skinny because of all the straight lines. Like you don't see skinny down here, and you don't see skinny in the top. You see it right in there.
Yeah.
And it's a trick of the eye because you got straight line, straight line, straight line.
Mm-hmm.
So if they would have kind of smoothed it out a little bit, it would have lessened that look.
But not a deal breaker by any means.
Not a deal breaker. Again, unless you're going to display them in a cabinet like that, I don't think it's a big deal. Also, aesthetically, I wish they would have did something with these doors, even if they would have maybe
Like
just
made
had
the
the
windshield
have the
fold
windows,
over.
Yeah, exactly. Have the window fold down, or just something. I don't like how the doors are just kind of like hanging out back there.
Yeah,
But that's a nitpick, and also the hood is a nitpick. I don't like how. I wish they would have kind of did something with it.
Yeah,
Put it inside the leg.
Yeah, do something, because I
Put
just
on
don't
the
like the
inside.
fact that it moves every time you pick it up. You know.
And it's like because they're on ball joints, they move everywhere. Like you just go any which way.
Yeah.
That seemed, like I said, like an afterthought. Whether it's like we got to have the red bit, and what are we gonna do with it now?
Yeah.
But I mean, it's not the like I said. Aesthetics to me aren't the main driver, and I prefer function. So these are nitpicks. They're not. It's not the end of the world. So like when everybody was complaining about the skinniness, I was like, oh yeah, it does look skinny and stupid. And then when you get it, I'm like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
I don't really care that it's skinny. It's actually a fun toy.
Because it's tall. I mean, it's Seeker tall. I'm sure you'll get to it here.
Yeah, I forgot to grab a fucking Seeker, which I might have to grab. You might have to give me a second to grab one.
Yeah,
so you can hold this gun. It's typical Masterpiece style. Wow, it really wants to force itself out. There we go. It keeps trying to push itself out. Maybe it's a little bit too much paint, but holds it fine. That's what it looks like holding his gun. Nope, see, it just popped out. Might just be a little bit too much paint. Put that to the side. So let's do some size comparisons. Here he is with, let's see. Let's do an MP car first.
Shoo.
So you can see, so the distance from his head to his head is about that, right?
Mm-hmm. It's like 33%. Yeah.
That's where that transformation joint is. To fold the hood around, that's where your extra height is.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how they got the extra height. Here he is with, let's see. What do you want next? Let's do Megatron.
Man, I love that toy deco Megatron. God, it's beautiful.
I tell you, man, I was never a big fan of the toy Megatron, but seeing that next to that custom MP10 that guy made, I was like, damn, makes it.
I guess we could. Oh, I'm hitting everything. Let's stand him up straight. Let's put him on a little bit of an A stance just to match. That's the problem when you actually pose stuff. Is getting it to not pose.
Man.
It's a lot of joints you got to mess with. There
he is really, really tall.
Yep.
I think the DX9 one's actually even taller, though, isn't it?
I think it's a hair shorter.
Oh.
Or it's either a hair shorter or a hair taller.
Yeah,
Here he is.
It was a shade bit.
All right, let's do the obvious one now. There he is with X Transbots.
So, I'm glad you have this. They transform into a car that's basically the same size.
Basically.
Which is insane to think that.
Well, this guy has more mass. Like, you just picking him up, you can feel the difference.
But even so, all modes are basically the same exact size. And look at how big the bot is. It's amazing stuff. It's wild. It's crazy. It's insane.
But you can see kind of.
Yeah, because of how
All-
the backpack is.
These are the car doors,
Mm-hmm.
and the car doors are basically split between here and a piece on there. You can see this is all the back of the car where his is just that. So that's where the mast is going. Like he was purposely trying to get it to be this size. Personally, I think this guy's too big.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm in that same category. I think he's too big.
My plan right now, tentatively, depending on how this whole combiner thing goes, because we don't know.
Right.
They never did a combiner, so we're not gonna know until it's all done. Oh, we also got to do this guy, the other obvious one. We won't know. So I think right now my plan is these in robot mode and them in combined mode. If the combiner turns out well, because they're both unknowns, to be fair. Because neither one of them did a combiner, so they're both wild cards.
Yep.
So tentatively, mostly because they're so big, maybe if their combiner turns out better, maybe I'll just throw them all in a DTOF together and as a team. That's the only. If you do DTOFs with Transformers, pro tip: do teams. Don't have your the whole collection in DTOFs.
Right.
Yeah.
At least that's my opinion. But you can do whatever the hell you want.
I think these companies that have never done a combiner before, I really think Menasor is the safest one to do.
Yeah, just locking some cars in. Worst
Yeah.
case scenario, you just plug the car in as is.
Exactly.
Wow, this guy. Oh, you know why? This guy's dusty because when I had the work done in my basement, dust fell on every flat surface. And I didn't clean this guy off yet. So here he is.
Dust over.
I did.
So
there he is with whatever the hell his name is.
Fans Toys Road King.
Road King. There you go.
Yeah.
So him to him, the scale is fine. Like they scale fine together. But I still think he's way too big because he should not be bigger than Megatron, and he's way too big. He should not be bigger than, he's a car. He should be car sized, in my opinion.
Right.
Yeah.
Again, that's an opinion. If you don't like it, guess what? You have at least 3 options.
Exactly.
And I'm an idiot. I'm buying at least 2 of them because that's how I roll.
And to be honest, the size kind of throws me off too. But this figure, the quality of it just makes me like, well, I guess I was wrong for thinking that to begin with, because this thing's perfectly fucking awesome. I can't. It just makes up for the fact that it's aesthetically unassuming that it's the right or wrong size. I just this to me is like I think one of the best things I bought all year. This spoiler. I can't stop messing with it.
All right. Do you want me to grab a Seeker?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. I was gonna grab it and I completely forgot before the show. Give me 2 seconds.
Sure. I mean,
I can't believe Ace liked this. I downloaded all these trash gifts today. And we didn't
I mean, I don't have anything negative to say about it, Uh-oh. I heard a damn it.
Tripped over. He stepped on a Lego.
It's the worst, man. It causes legs to fall off.
So my G1 countdown, because it's so freaking long, you can actually see it right back there. I have to stick it out over the Billy, and every time I walk over there, I freaking knock into it. And I just knocked everything over. Now I have to fix it after. I don't know if you heard me scream.
Oh,
we heard a damn it. Wow. So that's an official Takara Seeker there. And he is head-to-head same height.
Yep. So it just goes to show the Seekers are too small.
So they're both, their legs are both, and a slight A stance are about the same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he is Seeker sized. You can cheat and give him a crown and tell him to say he's taller.
Well, his pauldrons, or the exhaust.
The wingtips.
Intake, yeah.
So, I think that's everything we needed to say. And then I had one more thing I got to show real quick. This is the other thing I forgot. I didn't get a chance to show off with MP44. Here he is with Sideswipe. And there's the backpack from MP44.
Now, does it actually clip on securely, or is it just kind of rest on it?
It just kind of sits there.
He's resting.
Oh, okay.
It's resting and resting. So it's just kind of
4 weeks.
So it's not really.
Yeah.
You just kind of hook it onto the top of the.
But the fact that it actually will rest on his
it'll
back.
sit there fine.
Yeah.
And it actually paint matches. This is the tune version. I don't know if
love Super Grover.
I don't know if it's going to focus, but there you go. It does paint match.
Yeah.
Pretty well.
Pretty good.
I think I'm just going to leave it on him in the display.
Well, it is his technically anyway.
Technically, for that 5 seconds he had it.
Mm-hmm.
Sideswipe, give me your backpack, which we will never mention again. But I think that's everything. The other thing is he does have the clear blue with the silver underneath for the technical bits.
Yeah, that looks good.
He's got the clear purple over the silver on his chest and on his legs. So that's kind of a theme or what do you call it? A motif.
Yeah.
Of these guys.
Design element that would be
goes across
tie
all of
them together. Yeah.
Yeah. Like a rug that ties the room together.
Exactly.
And
that guy peed on it.
Oh, we just got to do the test, and I think that's it.
Well, I didn't want to ask the question.
Well, you can when JD's not here.
Oh, okay. Well, since we're already in progress,
so let's see.
Oh yeah, he's in there.
See, this wrist joint is tight. There we go. Let's see. What do you think? Give it to him.
Yeah, we'll give it to him. I mean, he's tickling in the tank there.
He's definitely tickling. He's watching it coming. Like say,
and he's paranoid about it, and he's screaming, "No!"
So you gotta you can't get it up and over there because of the cut for the above the shoulder joints. You kind of got to rotate it around.
Oh, he's licking it. Oh no! Now he's smelling
wait. You got to go around the lips. Around the lips. Around and then.
He just full on gave himself a dirty Sanchez.
Poop. Poop. Wait. Pink eye.
Oh no! Oh no!
We're children.
Oh, I love that. Oh, that's the best, that monkey.
I mean, you can get it. If his head was ball joint instead of a hinge swivel, you can get the face looking a little bit better, but that's pretty goddamn good for a Fan Stories figure.
Yeah.
But, like I said, this is probably my favorite Fan Stories figure I bought in the last at least 3 years, if not more. I like I said, I will give it to them when they deserve it, and they 1,000% deserve it. If nothing else, let's just admire those one more time. Look at that. Look at that. They finally cracked the code.
Yeah.
It only took them 30 figures or whatever. They finally cracked the code. Bravo. But yeah, I say 100% he's great. I love him. And obviously anybody who's seen the show knows that that's not something I say very often about Fans Toys.
Oh yeah.
But when they do something I like, I will 100% be honest and give it to them, and I will 1000% give it to them for this. I love this thing.
Awesome, dude. Yeah, I'm glad you like it. Now I feel comfortable in my opinion of it too.
You'll have to have your own opinions. This isn't the Ace Milo hour.
Yeah, always feel comfortable in your own opinions.
But any other questions, comments, concerns before we get out of here?
Lowell M also likes the fact that he agrees with you, I should say, in the fact that ball jointed necks are better.
Ball jointed necks are 1000% better all of the time. I can't think of a single time that I would rather have a hinge swivel than a ball joint. Anything else before we get out of here?
No, I think that's it.
All right. You want to run down the Chatteroony?
Sure.
Oh, I got that. I didn't know if you were going to do it tonight, Brink, or not.
Oh, that's right. I did give you that job, didn't I?
Yeah.
Oh, well, have at it, sir.
All right. Well, we had G Money. We had Eric Von W, Kenneth A, Smashmaster 13, Matt H, Lowell M, Wayneld 50, EE Prime, the MP collector himself was in here, Buzzsaw Eject, Jason L, Cobra Klon, I'm going to assume that is, Tyler the Collector, Mega Decept, and Hurricane BX swinging in on the last few minutes.
So MP Collector, were you surprised at the outcome of this one?
Oh, he was surprised.
He was.
Like I said, I'm not going to sit here and say everything they do is shit, because not everything they do is shit. It's just lately, a lot of the stuff they've been doing to me lately has been shit. But this guy's aces in my book.
Yeah, here you go. Here's what he said.
All right. Let's do some way-ats, and we'll get out of here. Brian, ¿dónde estás ahora?
I was getting ready to try and say it in Spanish, but no, you can find me on Instagram at Brinkalizer, Brian Brink in the Facebook groups, and that's it.
Josh?
I'm going to keep it short and simple tonight. You can find me on Facebook, and everything's linked there. It's public.
All right. I am at A Smile pretty much everywhere, mostly on Instagram, Facebook under my real name. Figure it out. It's not that hard. What do we got? The T-shirts are up and shipping. Mine actually shipped today, or either yesterday or today. So it's the Battle Damage logo.
Oh, yeah.
So I don't know if mine shipped either today or yesterday. Should be here in a couple of days. So I'm looking forward to that. What else? Rockbox is sold out. So don't got to push that. TFCon's in what, 1 month?
4 weeks.
4 weeks?
Mm-hmm.
4 weeks and a day, right? Well, 4
Yep.
2 days. 2 days. But I'll be leaving in 4 weeks and a day.
Yeah, same here.
So we'll see everybody there. We'll have... Oh, man, we're going to do a show the night before? Maybe. That's going to be a figure banging week. Yeah, we'll do something.
Oh, okay.
What else? Follow all the other Cool Table Network shows. Just follow the Cool Table Network page on Facebook to be informed of when a new show goes up, and you'll know when there's a new show. I think that's everything. I think we can go. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for watching live. Thanks for tuning in after the fact, and we'll catch you guys next week or next show. 2 weeks. 2 weeks for the next figure.
See ya.
Good night, everybody.
Later.